want 2025 to be your best year yet, it's all about creating a strong foundation now. Most of us want to be the fittest we've ever been, feeling our physical and mental best, waking up ready to take on the day, feeling unstoppable, happy, and excited about our work and life, and just living with an overall purpose. If you're not currently living in these desired states, it sounds like something in your life needs a little bit of a shift. Is it your eating habits, your sleep patterns, your thought processes, your environment, or the people around you? Every small action, what you consume, how you think, and who you spend your time with shapes your habits and your entire life. Today, we are going to identify what is holding you back from being the most successful version of you, and I'm going to be sharing tips to help you create a successful life for 2025 because we're almost there. Okay, tip number one, and what I think is the most important, is prioritizing your mind and body. You can't expect to perform at your best if you're not taking care of the foundation, which is your health. I came to a huge realization last year that the most important piece to any puzzle when it comes to reinventing yourself is your mental and physical health, your mind and body. I realized that since I wasn't taking care of these two things first and foremost, it was really difficult for me to build new habits, reach my goals, and build this new successful version of myself that I really wanted. What I figured out this last year is our mind and body are completely interconnected, and I had to find out the really hard way with a lot of really bad anxiety, really bad dark days, and going to therapy and digging myself out of that hole. But what I also realized along that is my nutrition, what I'm putting into my body, matters so much for my mental health, my mental clarity, how I'm feeling, and it directly affected my sleep, exercise, how I felt, and my emotional well-being. A few things that I love to do to prioritize my mind and body are getting movement every day. It doesn't matter what your movement looks like, how easy it is, or how long it is, as long as you're getting some sort of movement. This can be strength training, which is one of my favorites, or a walk outside, or a little Pilates or yoga session at home, any at-home workouts, anything long or short. I just really think that consistently prioritizing your movement day in and day out is super important. Next is fueling my body with balanced, nourishing meals and focusing on high protein. This has been a game changer for a lot of things, for my mental health, my physical health. I have noticed such a difference inside and out with prioritizing high protein and red meat this year. Another one is staying hydrated throughout the day. I love to add a little Celtic salt in there to open up your cells more so they can take in more water. I find that my body hydrates a lot better when I do that. Having a meditation or journaling session to help calm the mind and improve mental clarity. I haven't gotten the whole meditating down, but I do love a good journaling session. I like to do it either in the morning and night, and writing a little gratitude list or writing out how my whole day went. It can be as short as long as you want, but I think it is super helpful. Prioritizing sleep and maintaining a consistent bedtime routine and reducing screen time at night. I actually just got the Oura Ring, and this thing has been priceless for dialing in my sleep and my nighttime routine. So if you don't have one, I do highly recommend getting one. They are expensive, but it's an investment in your health, and that's how I see it. And then last but not least is making time for self-care. Read that book, watch that show, watch that movie, take a bath, have some time to yourself, go out, have some fun, be with friends, be with loved ones, and just take care of yourself. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency and being consistent throughout the entire week instead of pushing yourself to do all of these things in one day. Just make little time for each of these or habit stack. I would also encourage you to ask yourself, how can you better take care of your mind and body daily? And just writing these down will help you really be able to align with your most successful self for 2024. Tip number 2 is set massive but actionable goals. Dream big, but also make sure those dreams are tangible. I think setting massive goals are super important. Chase your dreams, chase those big goals, set them as big as you want, but they need to be broken down into actionable steps. Something that I learned the hard way over the past couple years is setting these big, massive goals and listening to these people talk about how you should chase your big goals and set them as high as possible, but there is a downfall to that because there was no action in place for me to actually reach the goals, and in turn I was let down every single year because I wasn't reaching my goals the way that I wanted to. A simple example for this is I want to get fit in 2025, and in order to turn that to an actionable goal, I would say work out 4 times a week or meal prep every Sunday. That way that you can be keeping yourself accountable from week to week, and it's not just this broad goal of get fit. Okay, how are you gonna get fit? What kind of exercise are you going to do to get fit? Are you going to be eating healthy? Are you gonna have a diet involved in that? Are you gonna have a coach? Like, there's so many things that go into this, and that's why action is so important. I also think it's super important to have checkpoints throughout the year. For me, this is quarterly checkpoints just because that's the easiest way for me. But I love to reflect and just see where I'm at. And sometimes my goals shift a little bit and I have to readjust them, which is no problem. But that's why I have these quarterly check-ins, because you change a lot from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. So you might as well have some checkpoints to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling towards your goals, what you need to do to reach them quicker or why you're not reaching them, and maybe take a step back and look at what other actionable steps that you can add into your goal setting. Okay, tip number 3 is commit to personal development. Personal development is a lifelong journey. Commit to it every day. And what I've learned from personal growth is it isn't just about reading books. It's about consistently learning, evolving, and taking action. You need to actively be seeking out growth rather than waiting for it to happen. This involves making the decision to improve yourself, setting clear goals, and consistently pursuing knowledge. I think you have to be proactive in creating opportunities for growth, whether through reading, attending events, practicing new habits, or taking courses. Some ways that I'm going to commit to personal development over the next year and how I implemented it into this past year. The first one is podcasts. Podcasts are so important. They are the little slice of personal development that I get every single day. They're free. You just put them on whenever you're doing a task. I love to listen to them instead of music. I'll even listen to them at the gym sometimes, and it's just such an easy way to take advice and have mentorship without paying for it. The next one is investing in new skills or habits that challenge you. Trying new things this year. Let's get out of our comfort zone and let's go take a new class, meet some new people, go to a networking event. There's so many opportunities around you to get out of your comfort zone. Okay, I love this one. This next one is going to events that align with your picture of personal development. I love going to events. Me and my boyfriend went to a huge business event and personal growth event last year, and then I actually just went to a health and wellness event. It was online, but it was 3 days. There was so much information packed into those 3 days, and I'm so excited that I went. I got to hear from a bunch of doctors and nutritionists and just everything that I enjoyed to align with my goals of personal development. And last but not least is taking classes or courses. I think that these are helpful for just keeping you inspired and passionate about things and letting you dive deeper into the things that you want to learn. Okay, this is a good one. Cultivate discipline and consistency. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments, and I think discipline is something that needs to be talked about way more because motivation isn't enough anymore. Discipline isn't just about being rigid, it's about having the ability to stick with a plan when motivation fades. And trust me, the motivation will fade. I was highly motivated at one point to get up at 5 in the morning and work out because I was seeing results. in the first 3 months. And then after that, the motivation faded. And what I had to learn was how to cultivate discipline and push through those cold, dark mornings to go and work out so I was able to achieve my goals. I think something that is super important when cultivating discipline and consistency is routines. Routines are the most important thing for my life. They'll be super helpful for you because if you have a routine and you stick to it, you know what's coming, you can prepare for it. It will help you create habits that support your goals and remain consistent over a long period of time. Some tips that I think have helped me build that muscle of discipline is starting with small wins to build momentum. Remember, we don't have to overwhelm ourselves here. It could be as little as getting a morning walk in, or if that's too much, drinking water as soon as you get out of bed, or not picking up your phone first thing in the morning. These are super easy, simple, and free things that we can all be doing in order to make our discipline better. Another tip is to automate your schedule. This goes along with routines, just scheduling workouts, meal preps, setting reminders when you're going grocery shopping, making a grocery list in advance. Like having systems and operations for your entire life will really help you to be disciplined and reach your goals. Another one that I love and I always talk about is to stack habits to build consistency. I think habit stacking is one of the most fun and easiest life hack to be disciplined because you can do so many things at once, and it's not like multitasking, it's different than that. Like if you're meditating in the morning, you can put on your red light mask and get that done. Or another one is while you're enjoying your coffee for the morning, you could be journaling or doing your gratitude list or reading your Bible or going over your day ahead. Like there's so many little things that you can habit stack together, and once you see it, it's so much easier to start implementing into your life. The last one is to reflect regularly and celebrate progress. I think reflection is really important for everything from the biggest goals to the smallest goals in our life, and just seeing where we're at, how it aligns with our habits and our routines and our goals in our life, and just making sure that you're not trying to do a bunch of routines that are not for you. Remember, these routines are to make your life better, to enhance your life, not to make them more difficult and like a chore list. Like you want to be doing these things because you love them, and I think that you can have things that you love to help you build discipline. Last but certainly not least is to declutter your entire life. Clutter isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and digital, and heavy on the digital these days. Decluttering used to mean to me decluttering your space, but it's actually about simplifying all areas of your life. And this is probably one of my favorite tips as somebody who feels environmental clutter, mental clutter, digital clutter. Like I hate when things are cluttered. It just slows me down. It makes me feel way less productive, and I just feel icky. Like I don't know how to explain it. If you're like me, I'm like a type A person. So if you're type A, you probably feel that you can't sit down or get anything done unless everything is like completely cleaned first. I truly do think there is something huge to be said about minimalism, especially as we are the generation of overconsumption due to social media constantly telling us to buy. Remember, you don't need everything that social media is telling you to buy, and overconsumption is a real thing. So in 2025, we are going to be under consuming stuff. I also think that physical clutter can cause mental stress and distract you from your goals. And the beginning of the year is a perfect excuse to go and do a huge declutter of your entire life. So take this opportunity and declutter. Some ways that I love to declutter every year are tidying up my physical space, donating what's unnecessary, and honestly just getting rid of things that you're no longer using. I know you spent money, your hard-earned money on that, your hard-earned time, but it is now taking away from your life because it's cluttering your life and it's giving nothing to you. You don't use it anymore. So you might as well give it away or donate it to somebody who will get use from it. Okay, the next thing I like to do is organize digital files, clean out emails, clean out following, Instagram following, TikTok following, YouTube following. I know there's people who you follow who are no longer serving you and no longer aligning with your life. So, and remove any apps or distractions from your device and just organize your little digital space on your computer, your phone, your iPad, all of your Apple ecosystem. Just make sure it's all decluttered and ready to go for the new year. I hope this video gives you motivation to step into 2025 with clarity, purpose, and a fresh start, because we all need it. If 2024 wasn't your year, 2025 is going to be your year. It's going to be our year. We're going to have the best 2025 yet. Remember, these changes don't happen all at once. Small, consistent actions add up over time. So take the time to set yourself up for success by focusing on habits, goals, and routines that truly serve you this next year. And don't forget to let go what is not serving you. Clearing that space is the first step to welcoming new growth. Let's make 2025 our best year yet. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.